Hi, I'm Mr. Carter, I'm Principal of Thetford Academy. I'm just going to explain a little bit about the routines of the day and talk about some key locations and when we do certain things. And where I thought I'd start is the start of the day itself. So I'm stood in the gateway of Thetford Academy. This is the main pupil entrance on Croxton Road. So this is where all pupils come into the school first thing in the morning. The first lesson of the day starts at 8:45 on the dot. So we recommend that pupils turn up quite a bit before that to make sure that they're on time. And often they do come and congregate with their friends before school. So if you're really early, so if you come between 8 and 8:30, you can come into the school and you can go into the canteen, which is just behind me over there, and you can wait inside, and often there is food and drink available to purchase there first thing in the morning. The main gate at the bottom there is opened from 8:30, so people can come onto the main school site between 8:30 and 8:45. It's really important that you're on time. We give detentions for pupils that are late without good cause, so it's really important that you are here before 8:45, because at 8:45 the school day starts and we expect you to be in your first lesson. You can come in through this gate both on foot or by bike, so pupils on foot enter through the gate behind me, and pupils on their bikes enter over this side, and they go across the front of the school, and there are secure bike racks for them to keep their bikes. But we expect that when they come up here, they're off their bikes and that they push their bikes onto the site. But we encourage pupils to be fit and healthy and come either on foot or by bike. We ask that parents don't park their cars or congregate out on Croxton Road. It's really important that you drop your kids off and then you go, because it's very busy first thing in the morning. Well, this is the quad. So I'm just introducing it to you as a location that you'll hear referred to in school and that you will pass through several times a day. So the quad, the main thing that you will use it for is to get to the canteen, which is just to my right over here. But also there are a number of other subjects that are in blocks around this quad. So for example, art is in one corner, history is over on my left, geography and IT are over here. So if you have any of these subjects, you'll be passing through the quad to get here. But also it's an area where, particularly when you're in year 7, 8 and 9, you'll be spending some of your break and lunchtime out here as well. And you can sit under the cover or outside to have your lunch or snacks at break time. So I'm down at the Mugga. Mugga stands for multi-use games area. So it's just a playground really, but we use it for several different things at Thetford Academy. You might do a PE lesson on here, but the most usual things we use it for are year 7, 8 and 9 come down here every morning to gather at the start of the day. So after they've come through the gate, before they go off to first lesson, they're lined up down here and sent off class by class to their lessons. So when you first come in the morning, when you're a year 7, it's likely that we'll bring you down here to get you lined up in your groups and to start moving you around to your different locations under normal circumstances. This is also somewhere where you can come down and play at lunchtime. Okay, we don't use it at break times, but at lunchtime you can come down here and you can socialise with your friends, and some people play ball games. So as long as the behaviour is sensible, you can come and play down here. Just behind me is our school field. We only use that for PE lessons. So when you're playing rugby or you're doing athletics or playing football, you'll go on there, and we use it for fire drills. But otherwise, we don't go onto the field on a normal day. But just behind me, this is the Mugga or playground. This is an example of a toilet block within Thetford Academy. We're in the A block at the moment, which is the largest and most modern building in the school. And in this block, the toilets are what are called anti-bullying toilets. And the way that they're designed is that they are open both ends. The toilet block is open at both ends to the corridor. There's no closing door behind which groups of pupils can go and adults can't see what's going on, like happens in lots of other schools. So here, there are individual cubicles with locking doors for pupils to go to the toilet, and that's male and these are male toilets, but the female toilets are designed in the same way. And then there's a sink block and hand dryers, and it's really easy to supervise from an adult point of view, and children feel really safe using these spaces. This is our canteen. So you can come here at break time to grab a snack, or you can come in here to get your lunch, whether to purchase it from our canteen or to bring in your own packed lunch to eat. We have split lunches here because the canteen isn't large enough to fit every year group in at once. So when you're in year 7, you'll share your lunchtime with years 9 and 11 too. We can fit 200 or 300 people in this space. At break time, there are no seats out, it's just takeaway food, and you can stand in here or you can stand outside and have your food. At lunchtime, there are tables out so you can sit with your friends. So our canteen has a cashless catering system. So what that means is you can't bring money into school that you use to pay for individual items at the checkout. The way that it works is you either bring in some money that you put into a machine like this, so you feed the coins in or the notes in and it will put money on your account, and then you pay with a fingerprint, a thumbprint at the till. The alternative is that your parents can put money on your account online. You can check how much you've got on a machine like this, and then again, you go to the till and you just pay with your thumbprint, so you don't have to hand any money over. So most of the time, if you're organised, you won't need to bring any money to school. You just rely on what's on your thumb to pay. There's a strict one-way system in the canteen. So when pupils enter the canteen, they do so through this door over my shoulder here. And they follow a path around the outside of the canteen in a queue. And there'll be adults there to supervise that queue to make sure it moves through smoothly and safely and everybody gets their lunch on time. You're not allowed to take any food that you purchase in the canteen outside, and that's to make sure that all our litter is thrown away and we leave our spaces nice and tidy. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about movement around the academy. There are nearly 1,200 pupils in this school, and however big the buildings are, moving everybody around in a quick, safe, orderly manner is one of the biggest challenges that we face. Now, one of the ways that we manage that is by making sure that we've got lots and lots of adults around to supervise and manage that movement and to make sure that everybody's going in the right direction and doing what they should be doing. But we have a few simple rules that it's important that you're aware of and that you follow when you're moving around the school. And I'm going to demonstrate this and explain it in one of the key locations in the school, which is one of our main stairwells. We're in the A block at the moment, which is 3 stories tall. There are 3 stairwells like this in this building, and we use different stairwells to go to different subjects, so that we spread the movement around the school out. So if you're in this stairwell that I'm in now, you'd be going up to English and modern foreign languages, for example. There's another stairwell down the corridor that you would use if you were going to maths, for example. So once you join the school, it'll be important that you know which entrances and which stairwells you use to get to certain places. But we will always explain that really carefully, and we use really clear signposting to make sure that everybody knows where they're going. The key thing about moving around the school, whether it's in a corridor or whether it's in a stairwell like this, is that we always move on the left-hand side and we move around in a single file, like a queue. That's because these stairwells have two-way movement. So if we walk on the left, we're always going to be keeping out of the other person's way. So when people are moving up and down these stairs, if you're going up, you'll walk on this side, and people coming down will walk on this side. We walk in single file because if we're walking 2 or 3, so if we're walking in a group, we're going to get in each other's way. So we always walk in single file. We follow the person in front of us, and we try and keep it as quick and as orderly as possible. This is a big site, but the longest it should take to get from one end of the school to the other is about 3 minutes. So it's really important that we know where we're going, that we move in single file on the left-hand side, and we're really focused on getting to our next class on time. Just like when we're inside or in a corridor or going up and down stairs, we look really carefully about how we move around outside too. So you'd see that outside here we've made markings on the floor so that try and encourage our pupils to walk on the left-hand side as much as possible in single file so we don't get in each other's way and that movement is swift and orderly. And this behind me is one of the main paths in and out of the school. So there's hundreds and hundreds of pupils moving around up and down this path at lesson changeovers. So just behind me here, we've got the A block. And the A block is the largest block in the school. It contains our biggest subjects, so English, maths and science. English is on the top floor, maths is on the first floor, and science is on the ground floor. And to split people up and to make sure we haven't got lots of people moving in the same direction and through the same doors at the same time, we have different doors for different subjects. So for example, the door behind me just over here, up the steps, that's how you get to English and MFL. But if we were to go up this way, up the next set of steps, that's how we get to maths. So it's just a way of making sure that we know we have different pathways to get to different subjects, and we haven't got 700 or 800 children all going in the same way at the same time. At every lesson changeover, there is at least one, if not a couple of adults out here directing pupils to make sure they go the right way and keeping things orderly and making sure that there's no poor behaviour or messing about. So behaviour is really, really good when we're out here, and there's lots and lots of positive interactions. If you're lost or you're not sure where it is to go, there'll always be an adult out here that you could ask.